right, welcome back to the Derailed Podcast.
What? I don't even know how to take that. Okay, yeah. Well, welcome. Welcome into this clusterfuck.
We're back, and we're on a little bit more of a focused topic this week because for us, we just finished watching Kenobi, which all in all was a good series. I enjoyed it, but there were some pretty glaring faults that I did not care for.
Yeah, there was actually, for me personally, there was a lot to enjoy, especially the last, 3 episodes. But there's there's definitely some stuff, I need to back away from my microphone when I say this. Who the fuck cannot catch a child? I will never be over that from the first 2 episodes. I'm just saying that now.
Well, I mean, that continued into the 3rd episode. Thankfully, they toned it down a bit more once the 4th episode came around. But yeah.
Well, yeah, by that point, she was caught.
Yeah. Precursor, we're mainly going to be talking about parts 3 through 6 because if you listen to the episode from, I think, 2 weeks back, so not last week's episode, but the week before, we talked about parts 1 and 2 in that one. So, this week we'll be mainly focusing on parts 3 through 6. And right out the gate, one of the things that I just want to say, I want to get it out there. Personally, for me, I think part 4 was probably the weakest out of the entire series.
That one was the breakout. So they rescue Leia and they're able to move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, for me, and maybe that was just compared to episode 3 and then episode 5 that followed it. I honestly think I can say that the 4th part was probably the weakest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, it had some cool fucking moments. Fucking huge fucking spoiler warning if you haven't watched the show yet. By the time this goes up, I don't know how long it's been out, so keep that in mind. But I think, honestly, probably one of the coolest parts of that episode was showing, the tomb in the Inquisitor's base.
Yeah. It's what's it? What was the line he said? It's it's not a fortress, it's a tomb.
Yeah, something like that.
Or something along those lines. Yeah. I don't know what it is because obviously it's not carbonite. But it looks like these people were encased in amber or something.
Yeah.
Like that. That was the look of it.
I mean, then again, this could just be it could be a precursor to what carbonite ended up becoming. You know, originally carbonite was just a way to keep something in stasis, but by the time Empire Strike Back comes along, carbonite is now a way to suspend something and keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe it was just a different type of carbonite, and it was just being utilized in a different way. I don't know. I thought that was a really cool scene, really dope set piece. But going back to the episodes in the correct order, episode 3 was phenomenal. I loved that one.
That was the first interaction between, physical interaction between Vader and Kenobi.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually pretty rad, because it's just fucking, Kenobi was very easily overpowered, which was great to see, because Vader is meant to be a force to be reckoned with, or not to be reckoned with.
He's an unrelenting force.
He is an unrelenting force, and just fucking just adding the element of the wall of fire is always a trope.
Yeah, and pulling him into it. That I fucking loved that. your suffering has only fucking begun, motherfucker. I loved that shit.
And just how brutal that man was. Just not even just to Kenobi, but to the people in this town that he's hiding in.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I fucking loved about this series, was that obviously we got to see it in Rogue One, but that was like, I can't even say that was even, 3 minutes?
You're talking about just like right at the tail end when he goes berserk in the hallway scene, right?
Yeah. Like, that's not even a 3-minute scene.
Yeah.
But we got to see more of that. We got to see Darth Vader as a Sith Lord in this series. Because one of my biggest complaints about the original trilogy is that, yeah, Darth Vader's fucking cool. He's fucking intimidating. But we really don't get to see him be the Darth Vader that's talked about, throughout the galaxy.
Yeah, you see he's the right hand. You see, obviously he's, terrifying. But all of the, nothing really garners the fear when people say, Darth Vader.
Right.
Now you see it.
Yeah.
Just tell me what I want to know. All right, you're let's choke you, let's throw you away, let's drag your body through the gravel. Love that. Yeah,
I fucking loved that. I've got some notes here about episode 3 because I was taking notes while I was watching it. I was surprised at how much screen time we got with Vader in that episode. I was actually, shit, from that episode on, we got a lot more screen time with Vader than I was expecting.
Oh, 100%.
And, okay, I don't know what the reality of the situation is. I don't know what the reality of the situation is. Because, there was all this fucking shit going around that, James Earl Jones didn't really come back to do the voice. It's just, it's all done by an AI. And it's I think people were either misconstruing or misunderstanding that, because my understanding was more than likely that the AI was used for, processing. Because... from what I can tell, there's no way that they can there was no way that they could have pieced together all of the dialogue that Vader had in this series. There's no way.
No, yeah, and I'm pretty sure James Earl Jones is credited as the voice of Darth Vader in this.
Yeah, so that, and as far as I know, he loves doing the character. That's why he consistently comes back for at least cinematic things. I don't think he's ever been the voice of Vader in a game. And I don't know of too many animated mediums that deal with, post-Clone Wars, aside from, Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm almost certain he didn't do the voice for that. But, the fact that he continued...
in Rebels.
Did he really?
5 episodes as Vader, yes.
Oh, wow. That's fucking dope, actually. But yeah, the fact that he keeps coming back to do this character means that that obviously shows that the character means something to him,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of the things that I absolutely loved. One thing that we only got to see once in this series, but I really felt like we should have gotten more of, was Obi-Wan hallucinating Anakin in places.
Yes, 100%.
They only did it that one time where, he thinks he sees him, looking over a cliff or something.
Yeah, in episode 3. That was before... they got picked up by the I don't know what to call him other than the Mole Man.
Yeah. Fucking traitorous-ass Mole Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a fucking narc, right?
Yeah, seriously. But at the same time, I want to bring him to you guys because I think there's something up. Yeah.
It's wow, and you were so good until that point. Fuck you, man.
I know. But, like, the thing about, like, I'm just really confused as to why they only used that once. You know what I mean? Like, they could, like, and maybe it's because he did end up actually seeing him later on in that episode. But, yeah, I thought it was really cool for him to actually be, like, seeing essentially a ghost. Because, you know, as far as we're concerned at this point in time, Anakin Skywalker is fucking dead. There is no more Anakin Skywalker. There is only Darth Vader. So the fact that Obi-Wan was literally seeing a ghost, I thought that was cool. And the fact that we only got to see it once, I really feel like was a missed opportunity. They could have expanded upon that so much more.
Yeah, they really could have. But I'm glad with what we did get. I'm glad we got it in some capacity. But yeah, we definitely could have gotten more.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, it was the one time that they showed, yeah, he is obviously being haunted by a ghost of his past. You know, the other things that I really enjoyed about this episode was like showing the Empire's influence spreading throughout the galaxy, and at the same time getting to see the seeds of the rebellion starting up.
Yeah. All the smugglers, and even the mention, I think it was earlier, I think it was like first or second episode, but even the earlier mention of, oh, who cares, it's at the Outer Rim. Or even, this is the Outer Rim, there's not much influence here.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, but anything within the spectrum other than the Outer Rim, they have a hold of.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was insane. Like, and kind of going to, like, Mole Man, like, his character really shows the fear and the control that the Empire had of the galaxy. Because, I mean, it was a shitty thing for him to do. But in reality, he was probably just thinking of himself and his potential family that he has. You know what I mean? If he took, if he brought these people to wherever, to where they wanted to go, and they slipped away from the Empire, he would be at fault. He would be held accountable for that. And he doesn't want to risk his family's safety for that. I can completely understand that. It shows what a world like that can do to seemingly good people.
I feel like in Mole Man's situation, like, it's less of, oh, if I don't do what they say, they're gonna hurt me or hurt my family, and more of a, like kind of how it was showcased. It's like oh yeah, Greg over there, he's a good guy, just kind of, it hits the sauce a little too often, if you catch my drift. But Jeffrey over there, he really likes fly fishing. I don't know. It's just kind of the go-to accent that I go for. I'm sorry, but just like, oh yeah, they're just generally misunderstood guys. They're not bad people. Just who cares about a little law and order there, sort of things. And he even says as much in the episode. It's just like, what's a little law and order gonna hurt? Honestly, we could use it. So plus there's nobody around, so it's not used as like a facade, where it's just like, oh yeah, I only said that just because like they were close by and all that. Like, no, I feel like he genuinely believes it. It's just kind of like like, hey, we got a good thing going, looks like these guys might fuck it up, here you go. Plus, like, these guys are good guys. They're just like, they're just stormtroopers.
Right.
I play poker with them every Thursday or something. It's like, yo, if somebody's gonna come in my home and squat down like they're gonna shit on my bed, like, of course or my buddy's bed, of course I'm gonna be like, hey, yeah, can we get somebody in here?
Can someone
please?
get him the fuck out of here?
No, it's smeared. No, it's in the comforter. Come on. So,
oh, not my pillow.
but yeah, it's like, of course you're gonna be like, oh come on, dude, like really, you gotta fuck something up. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, deal with it. But yeah, so like I do believe that he believes it.
And shit, we'll never fucking know. We'll probably never see that character again.
Betraying a Jedi, get Shrek.
Oh my fucking god. But yeah, so that was one of the things that I really thought was interesting about that episode. Now, one of the things that drove me crazy about this episode, other than the fact that, hold on, let me get back here. Hold on.
Holding on.
Nobody can catch this fucking child!
To be fair though, this time she had a head start.
True. But getting to the point that I was gonna make, the thing that drove me absolutely banana sandwich about this episode was I'm not a fan of Deus Ex Machinas in general. It's not a trope that I really care for. But the constant Deus Exing with the third sister was driving me up a fucking wall. You know? Like, she couldn't fucking sense anything. There was nothing to fucking sense. And yet, oh, she fucking just happens to fucking find the secret cave that they dipped down. Like, I'm sorry, Force sensitive or not, with as blinded by rage and ambition as she was, she would have never noticed that in a million years.
Yeah, like she definitely rolled a natural 20 on not an
Investigation.
An investigation check. God, my English is all fucked today. Not an investigation check, more perception check, because the investigation assumes you're looking at every nook and cranny, and she just kind of beelines for it.
Yeah, she fucking rolled a nat 20 perception with a modifier of 10. Like,
which you can actually get a maximum of 13 if you have expertise.
But like,
so yeah, like even going to D&D terms, realistic.
Well, I mean, that's fucking D&D though. This is Star Wars. You know, like, I don't know. It just seemed very Deus Ex, you know, especially because it was a building that had already been scoped out. Like, it was thoroughly checked by stormtroopers. Yet you just had the inkling, oh yeah, I need to go into this building. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, the Deus Exing drove me up a fucking wall. It actually drove me insane. And also, how the fuck did she get to the pilot before Leia?
Oh yeah, if it's just a singular tunnel.
Yeah,
like,
if it is a singular tunnel, how did you get to the pilot before Leia and not walk right past Leia? Like,
Force invisibility? I don't know.
Look, even with the sequel trilogy now existing, I don't even think that's possible.
Like, shit lightning out of their hands. I think invisibility is plausible.
I feel like invisibility would be more of a Jedi ability, though, not a Sith ability.
Altering the mind, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and Sith abilities are more about, like, the way that I've always understood it, based on the various games that I've played, is you have your basic Force powers. You know, push, pull, all that kind of crap.
Mm.
And then you have your powers that are specifically, you know, Jedi or Sith related. You know, in the games, typically things like protection, healing, defensive things, essentially, all tend to be Jedi-related powers. And then when you look at the Sith side of things, you've got choke, lightning, and stuff like that. Those all seem to be more offensive. So I feel like the invisibility thing, that would definitely be more of a Jedi ability than a Sith.
Honestly, the wording of it could go either direction, because like if you phrase it in the context of deceiving, because power and deception is a big thing with the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So you are deceiving a person's perception. In that context, or in that phrasing, it could definitely be used as a Sith ability.
Mm.
But if it's like in the context of protecting oneself from a perceived enemy or something like that, then it could be kind of shown as a Sith or as a Jedi ability. But also, isn't it kind of like, I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation at some point, maybe not on the podcast, but I do believe we have. Like, isn't it kind of fucked that the Jedi are the ones who are like the mind fuckery? Like, you're gonna tell me what I want to know, or you're gonna forget this ever happened.
Yeah, that
or,
does
playing
seem,
tricks on the senses.
That does
and
seem
shit.
to be more of something that the Sith would utilize. You're right.
Like, it's super fucky, because it's just like, oh, just because they're not breaking fingers doesn't mean that, interrogation tactics where
You're
you
fucking with someone's mind.
Exactly, that's shady. It's kind of one of those things where doing bad things for the right reason just justifies it. The ends justify the means.
Yep.
But it's like, doing bad things for a good reason, like, is that still okay?
Well, I mean, that's the
Which I
Jedi's
know
whole
that-
MO.
Oh, you're not wrong.
I mean,
Especially when it gets to politics.
look, during times of peace, children were voluntarily taken into the Jedi Order. Their parents would be approached by a scout, or I don't remember what the proper term, a seeker, I don't remember what the proper term is. But they would be sought out, they would, talk to the parents, and if the parents told them to fuck off, they would fuck off. But if the parents wanted their child to become a Jedi, they would send their child with them. But during times of, like, the Sith War, during the wars with the Sith and whatnot, children were forcibly taken from their parents, even to become Jedi. The Sith weren't the only ones kidnapping children.
Yeah, fair.
Arguably, the Jedi did it first!
Hey, your kid's looking pretty good there. You wouldn't mind if I borrow him for a little bit?
Get
Just
the
like
fuck out of my... You either rephrase that right now, or you get the fuck out of my house.
I mean, is that Sith or Jedi? Like...
I mean...
The answer is yes. Because, I mean, like, yeah, sure. One phrasing of it could be, oh, I see your child is force sensitive. We'd like to train them up and, make sure that if they're going to use it later on in life, they have the proper training. They have they know how to utilize, like, the force safely and all of that. It's almost like kind of like gun safety, for example.
Essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Blaster safety. But yeah, like,
you had to fucking make it an in-universe term.
yeah. Because no, it seems like everyone has a blaster and, like, knows how to use it, but like, it's so fucky. But yeah, it's like, yes, you're right. Phrasing goes a long way, but it's like, tell me I'm wrong.
Oh no, I'm not going to.
Especially like you said, oh, times of war. We just puts a blaster up to somebody's head. Give me the child.
I mean, it wouldn't even be a blaster. It'd just be, give me your fucking kid.
I have the Force. I know how to use it. Give me the child.
Fuck. Jedi Order, open up! I really hope the slamming got picked up.
Exactly.
Where the fuck? Oh, right. How the fuck did this bitch get to the end of the tunnel before Leia and not see her? Like, that
Force
was
invisibility.
Oh god. But yeah, like that drove me absolutely insane. Was just was just third sister constantly just like fuck.
No,
I think third sister had more plot armor than anybody else in this show.
That kind of feels that way. It's like fucking 2 new Force abilities for the Sith. One is called screen time. The other is called rewrites.
No fucking shit. Like, good lord. And I mean,
which honestly, with third sister or Reva's, like, her entire arc throughout the series, I can't really complain unless it's about the Force parkour. Then I will complain to no one's end.
No,
to no end.
Her arc definitely improved throughout the series. I will say that. But that was one of the other things that kind of bothered me about third sister kind of moving into episode 4 was Vader should have fucking killed her right then and there. Like, I'm sorry, Darth Vader of all people fell for the fucking I let them get away. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
I think the thing that spared her outside of I put a tracker on him was through everything that they were going through. Like, there were a couple of times where she showed some deception that he picked up on.
Mm-hmm.
In that, there was no deception because, yes, she did fuck with Lola, right?
Yeah.
The droid? Yeah. She did fuck with it. So it's just like...
So, but that also brings in another issue for me because you were expecting them to get away?
Well, you gotta put on a show. I mean, like, that's the whole Sith way.
Obviously, it's all about fucking theatrics.
Yes, they have... the Sith have a penchant for it.
But yeah, like, that really bothered me. It's just like, okay, I understand that there's, like, contingencies and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, a contingency are for people who feel like failure is a very viable thing. And when she put the tracker on Lola, she didn't even know Kenobi was in the base yet.
Fair.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're creating a contingency for a situation that may never arise. With you being so certain of yourself, if you're so certain that you're doing this right, you've got this all fucking planned out, why would you need a contingency? Since you're the smartest motherfucker in the world here. You know what I mean? It's weird to me. I know it sounds like, I know the way I'm talking right now sounds like I didn't enjoy the series. I did. It's just, there are some glaring issues that I had a problem with.
Yeah. Oh my god. One point of contention that I have with the Star Wars series as, just Star Wars as a whole. Stop putting your communication devices on speakerphone, dude. That gives you away so quick. Like, so quick. It's a fucking stormtroopers. Like, you got the helmets on. Like, they can barely hear each other. It's just like the tiniest noise. Did you hear that? Let's check it out.
Yeah, that was another thing that I found really weird about this episode was, are all of the Imperial officers just fucking idiots? Like, these are supposed to be people who are more elite than your common stormtrooper, and yet they're all fucking idiots. Like, first, all I can say is that the Empire really needed to work on its security measures. I really think things would have gone a lot better for the Empire if they'd just invested a little more credits into their security.
Well, I mean, like if you look at it, like everything, like power is measured by intimidation. So if you can out intimidate like one of their security, of course they're going to be like, "Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Please don't put that back there, ma'am.
Please don't have me court-martialed."
Yeah, it's just like 2 fingers, please, no more.
The firing squad is right there. Please don't blow this for me.
Dude, I'm like 2 days from retirement, please. Yeah, so it's just like it's a little bit frustrating, but honestly not surprising.
Yeah.
That it's just like, okay, you're gonna question me? Really? All right, let me go ahead and like pull some shit out of my ass. It's just like, I know where your family is. It's just like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, no eye contact. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like the whole thing that I thought was funny is it's just like, oh, you're not stationed here. You're not supposed to be here. Bitch, I can pull rank on you anytime I want. Like...
Yeah, like, you're not from... This isn't your sector. And then, like, that whole exchange.
I outrank you. Kiss my puss.
And then gains entry. But then another shitfuck who is under the security, presumably, is just like, hey, that's not your seat.
Yeah.
Can you get out of my seat? I'm gonna tell the teacher. Just like, all right, come here.
I'm gonna tell Lord Vader on you.
And then he gets choked out, and it's just like, well, it shouldn't have been an asshole.
One of the things that I did find a little confusing about the 4th episode, and I could be wrong about this, I could be misremembering things wrong. Wasn't their land a lot closer to the Inquisitor's base in Fallen Order? Oh, then again, that base did get destroyed, didn't it? Did it get destroyed?
Yes. Like, for sure.
Okay, so it was a new base, I guess. Which...
Or, like, how many stations would they have? Because I would assume that they would have at least a handful.
The Inquisitors?
Yeah.
Well, the one that they had in this series made sense because it was within the Mustafar system, which that's one of the things that has endlessly fucking confused me about Star Wars is there are systems of planets, and then there are planets within those systems, but sometimes there's a planet within that system that the system is named for. So, like, we have Mustafar, which is, where Vader's castle is, and it's where he fucking became Darth Vader, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then within the Mustafar system is where the Inquisitor's base was. I actually really liked that. That was a nice touch. It's like, I want these motherfuckers close to me, but they ain't gonna be on the same planet.
Yeah, didn't they say it was like a water moon or something like that?
Yeah,
like it wasn't fully a planet.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, so yeah, like maybe the system is named after the largest planet or the most significant planet within that system. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not really questioning it.
But yeah.
You gotta have some suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
With Star Wars in general.
Yeah, no shit. But yeah, yeah, episode 3, just to kind of finish up talking about that one. I did enjoy it. I wasn't expecting us to get a confrontation between Vader and Kenobi so soon in the series. I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I figured it would be reserved for, like, the last 2 episodes. Which
yeah.
The grand finale was definitely part of that, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that really confused me, though, was... why did Vader let him get away? You know what I mean? Like, it was one lady and a loader droid against Darth Vader and a squad of stormtroopers. Why did he let Kenobi... like, why did he let them get away? At that point, he's no better than the third sister.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. It might be motivations changing.
Maybe.
Because didn't he even say, like, suffer as I've suffered or something along those lines, and he's just, like, fucking with him?
Maybe. But at the same time, it's like, he hears about Kenobi, he finds about his whereabouts, and then he's right fucking there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I understand, like, yeah, he definitely wanted to torture him. Well, then why let him get away so you can't torture him anymore?
I don't know.
But then again,
like, I think
I guess I am forgetting that there was kind of like a whole subplot of them discovering, of, the Empire discovering this network that the Jedi have been using to travel throughout the galaxy and hide themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was something about exposing that as well, and it's like, well, wherever he goes, he's just going to show us where the next location is. So maybe it had something to do with that, now that I'm, not coming fresh off the episode.
Could be.
It just struck me really weird. That was all, really.
I'm reading the synopsis, and, like, the only thing is like the last little bit of it. Confronted by Vader, overpowers Kenobi with force choke and burns him, leaving him in pain. Tala provides a distraction to save Kenobi, but Leia is captured by Reva.
Right.
So, yeah. It could be a whole host of things. It's just like, because I'm pretty sure he would have had to have been carried by the droid.
Yeah, he was.
Because I feel like, because Kenobi would be, like, too much for only Tala to deal with as quickly as they did.
Right.
So it's just like, all right, pick him up, sprint, like kind of oh fuck, why am I blanking on the name? Interstellar. Which, like, you remember when they're, like, on the water planet, the big wave is coming in, and the robot just runs over, fucking picks up, I think it was Anne Hathaway's character. It just, like, sprints back.
Yes.
It might have been a situation like that, where it's just like, all right, get him, let's go. And then it was, like, by the time everything had died down and, like, was able to get, like, a view of the whole thing, it's just like, we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah, it was just, in the moment, it seemed really weird for me. Like, you've got this motherfucker. Like, you've got him in your fucking clutches. And you're gonna get distracted by one blaster and let him get away? Like, it just, in the moment, it seemed really weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to, I mean, shit, we covered pretty much everything there is to cover about, episode 4. But yeah, episode 4 was, it wasn't a bad episode. It was just, yeah, I really can't put my finger on what made it so lackluster for me. It was very strange.
It didn't really progress a plot.
Maybe that's what it was, is that really things didn't move until, like, things were moving at the beginning, they come to a dead halt, and then at the end they start moving again. So maybe that's what it is. But the 5th episode, holy fucking shit. We got some answers, and we got some fucking fan service.
Fucking bringing Hayden Christensen back, like, in the old Anakin garb during a sparring session was honestly one of my highlights from this series.
And I'm actually really happy that they decided not to use some kind of technology to de-age him, because I feel like it probably wouldn't have looked right.
No,
it probably would have looked too uncanny. Considering, because, you know, Hayden Christensen really doesn't look that old. Like, he looks really good for his age.
Couple wrinkles at most, but
yeah,
I mean, who doesn't get that old later in life?
Exactly. So, you know, when it comes to that, like, I did not have a problem with that at all. Like, what I thought was really cool about this episode was we got to see all 3 stages of Anakin's life as a Jedi/Sith in this episode.
All 3?
We got to see Vader.
Right.
We got to see Anakin, in his, like, episode 2 style. And then we saw Vader pre-suit. Because remember, he was dubbed Darth Vader before the suit came into play.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that we got to see all 3 versions of adult Anakin, I thought that was super fucking cool.
Also, I know it's like it's a tried and true trope. God, try saying that 3 times fast. But like, I love how just going back to episode 4 just real quick, because it's something that I completely forgot about until just a moment ago. The juxtaposition, like the stitching back and forth of Kenobi in the healing apparatus, and Anakin or Vader outside of the suit in his apparatus.
That was awesome.
Was just like it was just like a connection there that I didn't think I needed, considering their history, but it was pretty rad.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. That was really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, like, and you know, our questions from one of our questions from theories from the first episode, or not the first episode, but, you know, from our episode a couple of weeks ago, was confirmed in this episode. Reva, also known as Third Sister, was in fact the little girl at the beginning of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she had a direct confrontation with Anakin, and that also, actually, no, that answers a bunch of stuff. How did she know that Anakin was Darth Vader? Well, he tried to fucking kill her.
Yeah.
Like,
and then getting brought in on the, you know, the Inquisitor project, you know, being brought in on the project, by the dude who, like, made an attempt on your life. It's like, yeah, no, that'd be, yeah, that would stick in the brain.
See, based on, you know, what she ends up revealing about herself, I feel like maybe she wasn't picked up by the Inquisitors. I think she potentially sought them out.
With what's revealed later on, yeah.
Yeah, because because one of the things that we have to remember about the Inquisitors is the Inquisitors are former Jedi that were tortured into turning to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't seem that tortured. And like we pointed out in a couple of weeks ago, she didn't have the yellow eyes like the other Inquisitors did.
Right.
So she wasn't fully turned.
Yeah, she didn't fully give in to the dark side.
You know, and we get answers for all of this stuff in the 5th episode, which, holy fucking shit. I loved the 5th episode. It was great. Like, all of the reveals, a lot of the questions getting answered, but also fucking Chad Kenobi using this motherfucker's emotions to manipulate her into essentially letting them get away. Fucking genius. It goes back to what we were talking about a little while ago of ends justify the means. He was never planning on helping her take down Vader. He used that as a ploy to get away. As Vader says, he was wise to use you against me. Like, that was fucking... I absolutely loved that. And the fact that we got to see Vader pull a fucking Star Killer and throw his lightsaber, I lost my shit. I lost my fucking shit, dude.
Yep.
When he fucking did that, I was like, oh, he fucking threw his saber! Like, that was so cool.
Outside of, like, one or two very peculiar maneuvers with that fight between Vader and Reva, that fight was super rad.
Oh, yeah. But I can't help but point out one thing with that fight, and that's, so we're all just gonna, so basically what Disney did with how that scene turned out was Disney called Qui-Gon Jinn a bitch. Because clearly you can survive getting stabbed by a lightsaber.
Yeah. And that was pretty center through the chest. Like, I'm pretty sure that
he stabbed her with two of them. And she survived that. Once again, the fucking Deus Exing driving me up a fucking wall. Granted, it paid off in the end, but it still drove me up a wall. Because literally, as I'm sitting there watching that scene, I'm like, wait a minute. She's really gonna fucking survive this. She's really gonna survive this. You know for a fact he had to have hit some kind of vital organ. Yet Qui-Gon couldn't survive getting stabbed by a single lightsaber?
I think their way of justifying that was actually said in that same scene.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. When the original Grand Inquisitor, who was stabbed by Reva in episode 2, comes back, he himself says...
The revenge.
Yeah, revenge. Like, it's, I forget the exact wording that he used, but essentially revenge... The thought of revenge kept him alive.
Yeah.
So... I think that was, like, exactly for this reason of how did she come back from that later on? That's probably why.
That makes sense.
Revenge on Vader, which is why she went for Luke.
Right. And that makes sense, which I think is hilarious because Luke didn't even know that his children survived. Because remember, he doesn't actually learn who Luke and Leia are until Palpatine fucking spells it out for him. He's like, I'm pretty sure these kids are the children of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. Also, by the way, instead of Vader, you said Luke.
Oh, did I? Whoops.
Just saw that. Yeah. But no, I got what you meant.
But yeah, so it's like you're trying to use something against him that he's not even aware of.
It's not that she was using it against him. It is, okay, this dude had kids, they out there, and, like, that's, like, you can kind of deduce, like, okay, well, there's some connections. I know who Anakin Skywalker is. Like, you can kind of figure some stuff out. Oh, General Organa, Leia, how to get to Kenobi. There's a connection there.
Right.
Like, it's not a difficult leap to go, oh, maybe. But it's like somehow got the information that Luke is Vader's kid.
Right.
And using that as revenge. It's not even I'm going to use this against him. It's I'm going to get revenge in the only way that I know how at the moment, and that is avenging my order. Yeah, basically. But avenging my order by essentially like severing the Skywalker line.
Okay.
With Luke.
I could see it being that way.
I mean, she in a way kind of spells that out in the next episode anyways.
I'm going to avenge these dead children by killing a child.
Which is why she couldn't do it.
Oh, man. It's just when you put it like that, it's like, wow, that was fucked up for a minute there.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, episode 5, I loved it. There was so many cool things about it. Yeah, it was, God, it was really, and honestly, you know, the character did get redemption by the end, but oh my fucking God, it was so satisfying to see her get taken down a peg by Vader. It was so nice, because, like, this character's been driving me insane through the whole series, because her arc really didn't start to develop until that episode.
Yeah, it's like, now that we have context, now we understand retroactively, like, where she was coming from, where she's going.
Yeah, now that we have now that the character's motives were clear, and I know that sounds fucking stupid. It's like it sounds like I want everything to be spelled out for me, you know, fucking spoon-fed to me. No, I just want fucking context, because without context, this character just seems pointlessly fucking edgy to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all, like, throughout the first 4 episodes, 4.5, fucking, this character just seemed like an unnecessary edgelord to me. But now that this character actually has some context and, you know, fucking justification, I don't even know if that's the right fucking word to use. Motivation, more or less. You know, now that we have those things in place, now I can sit here and be like, wow, this is actually a good character. But it was still satisfying as shit to watch her get her shit tossed around by Vader.
Yeah. Once we get the context, it's like, oh, okay. Looking back, that makes sense.
I still don't feel bad for you.
Also, moving on to episode 6, it I get she's damaged, which is why it was like a bit of a struggle. But like I love how Owen and Beru get like they just fuck up her shit for a little bit,
bro. Because that was okay. So that was one of the things that we were talking about before the podcast. You know, one of the things that like kind of, you know, one of the things that kind of made me feel weird about this whole series in general is how many characters from the original trilogy got involved. Because when it comes to those characters, there's not really any real stakes involved. You know, and you know, Fish kind of put me in my place about it before we started recording, and he's like, well, you could kind of say the same thing about Rogue One. You know, all of these characters are going to die, but, you know, it's about the journey to get there. And it still just kind of bothered me that there were no real stakes involved, because I'm just sitting here, you know, watching Leia, who, you know, nobody can catch this fucking child, and the reason nobody can catch this fucking child is because she's wearing a diamond-clad suit of plot armor. You know, like, and the same thing goes for Luke, you know. it took a lot of the suspension out of tense moments for me. You know, the whole scene where she's maybe about to fucking kill Luke, like, there was absolutely no tension in that scene for me. Because I know that Luke doesn't die there. I know that she doesn't do it, you know?
Mm.
And, you know, the tension for me in that scene was, okay, who's going to intervene? Am I going to get to see my boy Cal Kestis? Which, disappointingly, no.
I'm so fucking sad.
I really thought he was going to show up in that scene. I really did. Because
I didn't think he was going to show up in that scene, but I was hoping for just even the smallest cameo.
Even just a mention of him would have been nice.
Which a perfect example would have been in episodes 3 and 4 when they were directly, and 5, 3 and 5, when they were like dealing with all of the people trying to escape, and especially in 3 with the safe house. That would have been an awesome tie-in. It's like Cal Kestis. That's a name that sounds familiar, but I don't remember why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that could be something from Kenobi or even from Tala. It's just like who is this? Oh, Cal Kestis. He was a Jedi that passed through here like a year or two ago. Like helped the people out here, and we were able to get him out.
Yeah, and that is actually one of the things that, oddly enough, I don't know why the name Tala triggered this for me. There was plenty of room to be able to make mention of him, or just allude to the events of Fallen Order, because 5 years prior, this Jedi just fucking comes out of nowhere and manages to turn one of our Inquisitors away from the dark side.
And get the other one killed.
Yeah. So it's like...
Because he dealt with the Ninth Sister directly.
Yeah. So it's like, why is there no mention of this guy who soloed 2 Inquisitors? and at the time this...
got away from Vader.
Yeah. And at the time of this series, it's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so many missed opportunities for mentions of him. But maybe the reason they didn't do that is because the sequel to Fallen Order is in the works. So I think it's probably safe to assume that the Fallen Order sequel, I can't remember what it's called at this point. For some reason, I think it's like...
I'm looking it up right now.
Survival?
Oh, like Jedi Survivor, I think.
Survivor, I think, yeah.
I'm looking it up. Jedi Survivor.
Yeah. Okay. So in Jedi Survivor, it is... I think it's probably safe to assume that Jedi Survivor, while taking place in the same year as Kenobi, more than likely takes place after the events of Kenobi. Or at the same... No, can't be at... No, I would say that it probably takes place after Kenobi. Because from the trailers, what I've seen, Cal is going to come face to face with the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, he was a prominent figure in the trailer.
Yeah, so obviously at this point in time, the Grand Inquisitor was pretending to be, during Kenobi, Grand Inquisitor was pretending to be dead, and yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the new expanded universe, because they're bringing all of these characters into different mediums, and they're placing them in different points in time, but they're also using characters who already have set deaths. Like, is Cal going to die in Jedi Survivor? Because game takes place in 5 BBY. Grand Inquisitor doesn't die until 4 BBY at the hands of God, we just talked about him in the last fucking Star Wars episode. Kanan Jarrus or whatever.
Oh yeah, in was it Clone Wars or
Rebels? Kanan Jarrus. That's his name. Canon. Well, I don't fucking know how to pronounce Star Wars names, alright?
Well, you can say his death was canon.
Alright, this has been the Derailed Podcast. See you guys next week. But yeah, so like, we know who that character is going to die at the hands of. Which is how a lot of us knew that his death in the second episode of Kenobi was a gigantic red herring.
Unless you're like me, who hasn't seen Rebels.
Right. Well, I mean, shit, fucking, I haven't seen Rebels either, but fuck, when that, those first 2 episodes came out, that was one of the things that people could not stop talking about, was the fact that, Grand Inquisitor wasn't killed by this person. He was killed by, such and such in Rebels. And it's like, how are they gonna... Did they really just retcon that? And it's like, no, I don't think they did. And I was right. They didn't. But also, I don't know who plays him. The guy that they got to play Grand Inquisitor is fucking fantastic.
Rupert Friend.
I have no idea who that is, but he is amazing.
I'm looking at his filmography right now. What is... Oh. He was in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Fucking excellent movie. You will cry.
Oh, I've seen it. Oh, he's also Agent 47 in the Hitman movie.
Yes.
The 2015 one specifically titled Agent 47.
Yes. I have not seen that one, but I've heard things. Don't remember if they're good or bad, but I've heard things.
Is that an Uwe Boll movie? No, it's not.
Oh, U-Boll? No.
It is not one of his.
Gonna be honest, I despise that man. He has a really bad...
he has a bad philosophy when it comes to when it comes to his approach with filmmaking.
There's that, and he completely destroys any and all aspects of the source material when it comes to his video game adaptation,
which is pretty much all he's done. Like, you've been given so many chances and you fuck it up every time. Anyway.
But the only Hitman movie that I've seen is the Timothy Olyphant one, which I love that man. I love Justified. That movie's
Timothy Olyphant is just a great actor.
Seriously, I really wish he had because like with the Justified TV show, that was huge. I remember watching it. I remember talking to a bunch of people about it. It was great, although unfortunately, not many people that I know now remember it, which makes me really sad. But Timothy Olyphant isn't getting like some huge roles anymore. Whereas, although I'm very happy about it, Walton Goggins is getting some, maybe not massive roles, but roles in massive film and TV. I mean, he was a secondary antagonist in Ant-Man and the Wasp, if you remember that.
Oh, that's right, he was.
Uh-huh.
He's also the voice of one of my favorite companions from Fallout 4.
Oh shit, that's right. But yeah.
So love the guy who plays the Grand Inquisitor. He's fucking phenomenal. Okay, folks, here we are again. It's fucking announcement time. It's merciful this week, though. I really don't have that much to report, so we'll be back into the episode in a jiff. The shorts have officially started dropping on YouTube, and they are, in my humble opinion, really fucking great. I know I edited them and put them together, but I find them highly entertaining, and they're a great watch, so head over to the YouTube channel to go check those out right now. And as for Stream for Initiative, nothing else to report still, except for that scheduled change. Bi-weekly, Sundays and Fridays, in that order. Fishes in the Sunday episodes. See, what did I tell you? Done with those fucking announcements like ripping off a Band-Aid. Alright, back into the episode. Okay, so the finale of this show, obviously they gotta finish strong. And finish strong they did. I think I think I can speak for, I mean, I obviously shouldn't, but I think I can speak for a lot of the Star Wars community when I say that they finished strong with the 6th episode.
Yeah, Kenobi and Vader definitely finished all over each other.
Oh, one of the big talking points about that episode, obviously, is we got...
Just completely bypassed.
I don't know what am I supposed to say? What's worth acknowledging?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm such a dick. What's worth acknowledging?
You're not wrong.
So we got to see them fucking duke it out. And one of the first big talking points that I want to bring up, because we did bring it up a couple of weeks ago, the battle does not take place on Tatooine, which I am very happy with, because a lot of the promotional art was insinuating that.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't make sense as to where, I mean, obviously it was just a nearby system, but the location was very confusing to me, because it's like, was this place built specifically for Jedi and Sith to duke it out? Like, was this once, like, a battleground during the Sith Wars?
I mean, that would be a really neat retcon.
I mean, it would. Like, you know, but yeah, the location, I'm very happy that it wasn't Tatooine, because if it took place on Tatooine, that would mean that, obviously, Vader just knew where Kenobi was all these years and just decided not to pursue him.
Which goes against everything that we've seen in the series so far.
Exactly. And B, it would also insinuate that, shit, Vader might know about Luke at this point. You know? So...
Which would go against...
everything that follows.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Everything that's been put out since Empire?
Yeah. So, I'm really glad that they decided not to do it on Tatooine. I'm actually very happy that we got to see a number of different locations throughout this show. You know, I think I said this in the episode a couple of weeks ago. I love that we got to see Alderaan not blown to smithereens. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was really cool, because it's always been one of those places where we've only gotten hints of it. Like, we know that's where Leia came from, grew up, I should say. And we know that, you know, and we know that Senator Organa and all of them are there, you know, that's where they're from, and it gets fucking blown to hell in A New Hope. So the fact that we actually get to see this planet and spend some time there, which, and I'm pretty sure I said this in the other episode, it fills in a lot of the context of, honestly, just this show in general filled in a lot of the context of, you know, aside from A New Hope, Leia really never acted like a damsel in distress. Like, Leia was never that type of character. She was a take charge and fucking kick your ass type of character. She wasn't wasn't Princess Peach, she was Princess Zelda.
Yeah. And if she couldn't get out and kick your ass, she oh god. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Well, she would definitely give you a tongue lashing. She would berate you into no end.
Oh yeah, fucking, and that's just Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, 100%.
Carrie Fisher was a silver-tongued shit talker, and I miss her every day because of that.
Dude, same. But yeah, dude, like, and we saw a little bit of the sass coming through from just because of like the environment that she's from, and like Senator Organa and just being a defiant little shitbag. But now we kind of see the start of the take charge mentality at the end of the series.
Yes. Like, I absolutely love that. I love that we got to see where Leia came from. She wasn't always, she wasn't just a fucking princess like fucking Han Solo always fucking talked to her. She would fucking kick your ass if she fucking was given a good reason to. Like, and she'll be damned if she lets some scruffy looking nerf herder fucking tell her otherwise. So I loved, like, and the actress that played her, the little girl that played her, she did such a good job. Like, I don't know what the exact words to use are, but she definitely gave off the same energy that Carrie Fisher did playing the character.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved that. Like, they totally could have fucking ruined this character. Like, not the character, but, like, they totally could have ruined this show by having, dem fucking kids just tagging along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I saw a few people complaining about it when the first couple episodes came out. It's just like, oh, there was no need to do this. And it's just like, I don't know what your fucking problem is. We are literally seeing the seeds of the character that we grew up with.
Plus, you can't exactly base, like, you can't base much on, what, a total of 20 minutes?
I mean, shit.
Like, to just the first episode?
Let's just see. How much screen time does Leia have in A New Hope? Wow, she actually has a lot of fucking screen time. Oh, this is just...
Oh, in A New
This
Hope?
is just
Yeah,
in the trilogy
I was talking
in general.
I was talking about, like, because it sounded like a lot of people were pissy about the character's portrayal from Kenobi. Which, that's what I'm getting at, where it's like, you can't really judge either way on, like, first episode alone, like, what, 15 minutes? Ish,
yeah.
Because, I mean, what do we see? We see her getting ready, or being forced to get ready. Talks to her dad, berates the cousin, gets kidnapped.
Right.
Yeah, that's like 15, 20 minutes. Like, how can you really judge, like, oh yeah, they ruined the character, fucking tag along kids, based on that?
I think it's people going based off of the established trope of usually adding a kid into the mix doesn't go well. But I
don't know what the fuck they're talking about then, if that is the case, because, like, some of the best actors that we've had over the last, like, what, 5-6 years have been kids.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fucking cast of Stranger Things.
Cast of Stranger Things, and to go along with the connection with Finn Wolfhard, the entire cast for It, exactly. Like, nothing against any of the actors who played the adult versions in Chapter 2, but the kids were, like, the real standouts across those two movies. Like, holy shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. But, yeah, like, so, God, where were we? We were talking about this episode. How did we get sidetracked here? I don't even fucking remember.
But so they finished really strong.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, the fight between Vader and Kenobi is phenomenal. Like, I'd say that there is a very good balance of force powers and lightsaber combat. Like, fucking watching Vader just fucking pile the fucking shit on top of Kenobi when he's got him down in that hole. That was fucking awesome.
oh yeah, and just being able to stop it from just like slamming into him.
Yeah.
And creating that little like air bubble
Essentially, yeah. You know,
and like it had his like I know I keep like I'll reference it quite a bit, but Spider-Man Homecoming, just the come on Spider-Man, you got it. He had his moment.
Yeah, he did.
Like eventually like blew that shit apart and just railed on Vader.
Yeah, that was another part that I thought was cool when he fucking gave it back to him, just fucking hitting him with fucking rock after rock.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking I think one of the big things that made me kind of go, huh, and made my heart skip a beat was after he slashed open the helmet and you see Hayden in there.
Yeah.
And his eyes are dark. And then as the speech is going on and like Anakin's dead, I'm what remains, his eyes start going the reddish yellow of the Sith. And it's just like, that was a moment that kind of made me go, oh.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. Just the whole fucking, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. Like, oh my god. That was just so good. And yeah, the fucking part where he slashes the helmet, I'm fucking sitting in my living room. It's like 6 a.m. Fucking Hannah and the baby just went back to sleep because we had just gotten off of a ferry. Fucking, they just went back to sleep. Fucking, he slashes that fucking helmet. I'm out here in the living room. I'm all, oh, fuck!
Like, you can't not react to it.
Oh my god, it was so good. And the voice modulation going in and out was brilliant.
Oh yeah, it was so discordant. It was beautiful.
Oh my god, that final fight scene was just so good. That, and I really thought we were gonna get a fucking Darth Maul fucking Sam Witwer reference with him fucking yelling at the end, just Obi-Wan. I really thought we were gonna get a fucking Kenobi. Because Sam Witwer would have had some shit to say on Twitter about that.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been like, they really stole my shit.
Well, I mean, he did already. It's just like, yo, I see you, Kenobi.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What exactly happened? I gotta look back on Twitter for that.
Oh, God.
There's the man.
God, I mean, obviously, I know they used him as the model, but fucking all I can see when I look at him is Starkiller. Oh my god, he was in the mist.
I love his Twitter. It's like, I've asked for privacy during this very trying time, and the official Kenobi keeps tagging me. I get it, he has a TV show, but he's not a nice guy. He and Qui-Gon started it. Oh, I love this man.
Oh my god.
Oh god, but what was it? I'm trying to remember exactly what it was.
Oh, here it is. And now that Kenobi guy. First he steals my legs, now he steals my dance moves. And he's referencing the scene from from the 4th episode where he fucking takes down those stormtroopers in that dark hallway.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep thinking about Hayden Ewan's face when the interviewer said she had a crush on Darth Maul.
Suck it, Kenobi.
In your face, Kenobi. Oh god, and like 2 days prior, just Kenobi.
But yeah, fucking that final duel between Vader and Obi-Wan was fantastic. It was awesome. And yeah, oh, that's right. We were talking about this a little bit beforehand, and then I think we got distracted. I sidetracked the conversation with the whole "there's no stakes" thing. One of the things that I was fucking saying throughout this episode when Reva shows up at the Owens farm is, it's one of those things where I'm like, I know these characters aren't gonna die, but I'm sitting here watching this scene and I'm going, I really cannot wait to see this bitch get punked out by a couple of moisture farmers.
Oh no.
Because, Owen and Beru don't die until they get turned into skeletons.
Spoilers for a movie that came out in 1977.
Fucking spoilers for a movie that came out in 1977. Owen and Beru fucking die. 2 characters that got maybe 2 minutes of screen time in the original trilogy.
Bro, their skeletons got a lot more screen time than the actual.
Bro, I think they might have. They got action figures. I don't think they're real, but I have seen a meme of that somewhere where it's literally like, it's a charred skeleton.
Just a fucked up skeleton.
Oh, God. But I will say, I don't know who he is. Whoever they picked to play Owen did a really good job. Especially considering there is not a lot of source material to work with. Is it the same guy from episode 2?
They brought back like the majority of the old cast if they had a role, yes. Which that is Joel Edgerton, I will have you know, and that man.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Have you seen Warriors with him and Tom Hardy?
No, I have not.
2 brothers get into MMA. Okay, how about It Comes at Night? It's a horror movie that I rave about. I love it to pieces.
I don't think I've seen that either. I'm looking through his filmography here. I'm trying to find something that jumps out at me where I would recognize him.
But yes, he was in episode 2. He did play
Owen. And also in episode 3 for the, wide shot that we saw of him. Oh no, I think we did get a close up for like 2 seconds.
But he was in the Thing remake.
That's where I recognize him from. Is the Thing prequel.
He was in Exodus Gods and Kings. He was in Black Mass. Fucking oh god, where is it? Zero Dark 30, Great Gatsby, like the Green Knight, which is another A24 film that came out recently. Like he's got a lot, like a lot of good shit.
But I do recognize him from The Thing. I do remember him in that. But yeah, fucking that. Say what you will about Disney, their casting department knows how to fucking negotiate.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that just Disney in general have gotten back to do roles is insane. I mean...
Well, I mean, they got the moolah. Like,
I mean, they have the money, but also it's like getting, like... Here we go, fucking talking about Spider-Man again. Fucking getting people like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to come back to reprise their roles as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, who hadn't been in that role since 2006, 2007?
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield not since 2000... When did Amazing Spider-Man 2 come out?
12.
12?
12, yeah.
So, yeah.
No, wait. I'm sorry. 2012 was first Amazing Spider-Man.
So 14 was probably
the 14 was the sequel.
Okay, so yeah. He hasn't played the character in almost 10 years. And he was mercilessly fucking attacked. You know, fucking
But honestly, with how interviews have gone and like how excited both of them are to talk about the roles and all that, I don't think there was much of a negotiation that had to happen. It's just like, hey, so we're doing
come back in the garden, man. It'll be fun.
Movie and... yeah. But it's just like, hey, we're doing a new Spider-Man movie. We're thinking about like a multiverse thing. You know, do you want to come? Yes. Okay, how about you, Andrew?
Huh?
Andrew? Where'd he go?
He's
already in costume, hanging off the ceiling.
He's
Okay,
putting his suit on already. I think it's a yes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just screaming from the end of the hall. Give me a minute. It's a little tight around the old web shooters.
I do have the tingle, just not for bread.
But what about bananas? But yeah.
Why did you do that?
You're welcome.
His first appearance in that movie is just so good.
It really
anyways, back on this fucking Star Wars. Yeah, just the fact that they get all of these people back to reprise these roles is incredible for me. You know, I mean, I think that especially goes for Hayden Christensen, who, after all of the negative feedback about his take on Anakin Skywalker, literally stepped away from acting for a few years. Like, I know he had a couple of movies after Star Wars. There was Jumper, which I personally really liked. I liked that movie.
I did too. I really wish they would have continued on.
And then there was another one that he was in. I don't think it was very well received, but it was some movie about like him being awake during surgery. I think it was called Awake.
Yes, Awake was in 2007. It was 2 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jumper was the year after that. Let's see. American Heist.
Oh, he's Canadian.
90 minutes in.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I didn't what? His first role was or his first film role was a bit part as a paperboy in The Mouth of Madness by James Carpenter.
Oh.
Didn't know that. Fantastic fucking movie.
He was also in the Night of the Living Dummy Part 3 episodes of the Goosebumps show.
I actually don't remember Part 3. I remember Parts 1 and 2. I'm going to have to... He was on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Yes, I understand that.
Every fucking Canadian actor born after 1980, I guarantee you, was on Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark. Those were huge shows in Canada.
That's very fair. You make a good point.
And they were made there, too, so...
That's very fair. You make a good point.
Yeah, he took a break from acting. He did a few things. He did 4 things in 2010. That's pretty fucking impressive. He took a break for about 4 years, from 2010 to 2014.
2010 to yeah.
And then he didn't exactly make a comeback. And yeah, he really didn't make a comeback until fucking Kenobi. Ooh.
He did do some voice lines for Rise of Skywalker.
That's right, because there were a few voice lines that we heard from him.
But yeah, the big stuff has been voice lines in that. He did some voice lines for Clone Wars,
And he will
back.
also be playing Anakin and Darth Vader in at least the first episode of Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. Wow, that's not slated to come out for another 5 years.
Wait, what?
2027. So
what are we talking about? Are we still talking about Ahsoka? Because that's supposed to come out next year.
I'm looking at it here on IMDb. Ahsoka TV miniseries in progress of filming, 2027.
That's weird, because everywhere else I'm seeing is Ahsoka is scheduled to be released in 2023.
Interesting. I was looking for the Star Wars character.
What'd you find?
Some fucking other person, a real person named Ahsoka, or something to do with, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Series. Yeah, here I'm seeing 2023. Well, then again, that's why you can't always call IMDb accurate. Anyways.
I don't call it IMDb accurate.
Yeah. Anyways, fucking seeing these characters come back, seeing people reprise roles that they haven't played in over 10 years, it's fucking awesome to see. I love it. You know, and the fact that Hayden Christensen actually got to spend a significant amount of time in the Vader suit makes me so happy for him.
Yeah, to my understanding, he did all of the physical appearance for Vader throughout filming.
You know, and I thought,
I'm pretty jazzed.
Well, I
about
know
that.
he was in the suit in Revenge of the Sith. Fun fact: he had to wear platform shoes to be tall enough to have the character look correct.
Can't say I'm surprised, because Vader's.
Yeah, isn't Vader supposed to be like 7 feet tall?
So, something like that.
Fucking.
The man's meant to be an intimidating presence.
I mean, yeah, no shit. Let's see. Oh no, Darth Vader is only 6'2". But
wait, he's my height?
But Hayden Christensen is... Hayden Christensen is 6 foot even. So he...
Oh, so not that much.
Well, when they originally did it, he came up a couple inches short. So he had to wear 2-inch platforms in order to fit in the suit. Or, no, they had to make him a custom suit that had 2-inch platforms on the boots, so that way he would actually be tall enough to look the part. I remember, I watched a bunch of behind-the-scenes shit for Revenge of the Sith way back in the day.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, yeah, fucking every fucking Star Wars toy you bought back then came with a fucking DVD. And I'm not complaining about that. I wish there was more of that, man.
So, can we talk about 2 surprise cameos? Or at least surprise for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ian McDiarmid coming back as Emperor Palpatine. And, like, in only a few lines, sending Vader through the ringer.
Yeah.
And the other one being... Liam fucking Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn's Force Ghost.
I lost my shit. I jumped off of my couch and started accidentally kicking shit in my living room. And I was like, no fucking way! No fucking way!
So, just to clear some stuff up, or just to, like, make this note, I watched the last episode like maybe an hour before, or I finished it like an hour before actually like recording this. And like I'm way far behind, but like I screamed. I was so happy.
Well, because, I mean, fuck. We've been hinting. This ability of him being able to talk to Qui-Gon has been hinted at since the end of episode 3. You know, Yoda was all, I'm going to teach you to communicate, to commune with your old master. And he's, so it's like, we've been getting teased with it for fucking years. And they literally teased us with it through the whole series, but we got it in those last few seconds.
Yeah, what's it? You said episode 3, and I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that was like in the recap.
I was talking about Revenge of the Sith.
Episode 1. Yeah, I gathered that. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, no, like they threw that scene out there in the recap. So like they've been fucking around with us like the entire series.
Honestly, I have no idea how they managed to keep that so well under wraps.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm so glad that they did.
Like the whole thing with like, God, now that the movie has been out for a while, we can actually, the fact that we've seen it, we can actually talk about it. Like, the whole thing, back to fucking Spider-Man again, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showing up in No Way Home, it was literally called the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Oh, straight up.
Like, for fuck's sake, in the first, not the first trailer, but like, well, no, because there was a teaser, then there was a trailer. In the first, like, trailer that we got for No Way Home, we see the lizard get hit by an invisible force.
Yep. And then they immediately took those promos.
Yeah, they
off the
immediately removed every fucking trace of those promos and cut that out.
Dude, it was so beautiful because I remember seeing the trailer and going, "Wait, what was that?" Because it was like 3 frames of like the lizard getting hit.
It's on screen long enough that you notice it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, the fuck was that? And then just like I see one person constantly being retweeted, where it's got like I guess it was the Brazilian ad or some along those lines that was like an extended version of that scene, like it showed the entirety of that clip, and yeah, you see the lizard going flying, and just one dude's like, "Hey, what's that?" And then just like they lose their collective shit. Like, it's just all it takes is one slip up. That's all it takes.
And there were other things that made it pretty obvious, like the fact that Toby was spotted on set. There were things like that, and Andrew Garfield just being the worst fucking liar on the planet.
I commend him for trying.
I commend him for trying, but I kind of feel bad for him because when it comes to talking about Spider-Man now, nobody's gonna believe a word that comes out of his fucking mouth anymore.
So we just gotta ask: are you Spider-Man? No, what? No.
As he's putting the mask on.
Just like, what? It's basically that same reaction from like, we don't have a chimney. What?
What is that from? I can't remember it right now.
That's from Amazing Spider-Man. It was either 1 or 2.
That's right.
But like he's covered in soot. She's like, what the hell happened to you? I was cleaning the chimney. We don't have a chimney. What?
That's right. Oh my god. But yeah, like that was like they kept that cameo so well under wraps cuz like I didn't get to watch the finale for a couple of days after it came out. So, I'm seeing all this news on fucking Twitter of like, oh yeah, there's a big cameo.
Uncredited as far as I can see.
Oh,
though.
Okay. So like,
which kind of surprises
it might have been by choice.
Could be.
But yeah, I kept seeing all this stuff like, oh yeah, there's a huge cameo, in the finale of Kenobi, and I'm just like, well, fuck, there's so many people that it could be. And it's like, first of all, Emperor, furthest thing from my mind. Because as far as I'm concerned, yes, it was surprising when I saw him, but if I heard that he made an appearance, it wouldn't have surprised me that much.
No, because those two are directly intertwined throughout the entirety of Darth Vader's life.
Exactly. So, like, it wouldn't have surprised me that much to hear about that. But, so I'm sitting here going, I'm like, fuck, who could it be? Like, could it be Cal Kestis? Could it be fucking Disney really giving into the fan service? And, oh shit, Mace Windu's still alive. Like, like... Because, I mean, fuck, there is a very large portion of the Star Wars fandom that is dead set on the fact that Mace Windu is still alive out there somewhere.
Dude, after seeing Maul come back with fucking robot legs for a little bit, and the fact that Windu only got his hand cut off, there's some pretty solid arguments.
I mean, let's just ignore the 120 volts
everything
coursing through his body as he got sent out of a fucking 300-story window. But yeah! But then again,
man,
I'm also sitting here going, Darth Maul survived on garbage!
Yes! And look at where that got him.
Killed in the desert. What's your point?
So Mace Windu comes back and gets killed in the desert. It's the only logical conclusion. Just all you hear is...
Motherfucker!
Motherfucker. You knew exactly where I was going.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, this fucking... So yeah, obviously this show had some glaring fucking issues, but it didn't stop me from enjoying it. I thoroughly enjoyed it through and through. I'm not sure if I want to see a season 2 of this. I really don't think we need it.
Where would they go anyway?
That's my whole thing, is it's like, well, how else do you get Obi-Wan off of Tatooine again without, something happening to Leia or something like that? You know what I mean? And it's...
Yeah, I don't think there can be a season 2. Not really.
If they do a season 2, I can guarantee you there's going to be no Vader. They made it very...
because he doesn't come back by that point.
They made it very clear that this duel that we saw in this 6th part of this series is the last time they see each other until A New Hope. Even going so far as to having Obi-Wan only call him Darth.
That's what I was going to bring up.
You're only a master of
it
evil,
may be
Darth.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I actually am kind of happy about that line, because as odd as it is, of course, looking at it from the timeline in which it came out, of course they weren't expecting it to take off the way it did. So, a silly little line like that, silly now, didn't really fuck with anything. Then we got the prequels, and then we have the established lore and everything to where we are now. So it's and always looking back is just kind of, it just kind of makes you chuckle a little bit. But now, that recontextualizes, the end of Kenobi recontextualizes that line in A New Hope. Because now we fully see, you knew my father, yeah, he died. So it's no, that was a full commitment. Then the person or my friend that my friend is truly dead. And then, what? Vader? Yeah. Goodbye, Darth.
Yeah.
It's like, it because it's, Darth is a title.
Right.
So, like, why not just put a little bit of venom on that title? So, yeah, it recontextualizes the original line in A New Hope.
Yeah, I
kind of dig that.
No, I absolutely love that, especially because for years people have said that line is a plot hole, and it's like I really don't think that's the case here. But whatever, what do I know? I've only watched these movies for the majority of my life.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like the people who are pointing out, oh, it's a plot hole, are also kind of forgetting that the only two Sith at that point are Darth Vader, and like, yes, one of his titles is Darth Sidious,
but he never went by that in.
No, it was always Emperor Palpatine. Yeah.
Or not even Emperor Palpatine in the original. I don't even think he was ever referenced as Emperor Palpatine in the original trilogy. He was only ever referenced as the Emperor.
Yes, the Emperor. So we have two Sith. We have the Emperor, and the only title of Darth known to anyone in the current known universe.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the Emperor rose to power, Darth Sidious was no longer used.
Yeah.
Was no longer relevant. So, thinking of it that way as well, it just brings it back around from, oh, that silly line, that little plot hole, oh, they didn't know what they were doing. It's just like, well, any kind of discussion like this could, recontextualize stuff, but now, like...
But no, he refers to him as that because
they did it.
Obi-Wan refuses to reference him by name.
By which name? Vader?
Any name. He's no longer Anakin Skywalker, and to him, he doesn't see Darth Vader. He just sees Darth.
Yeah, he just sees the title of the title of the
exactly, and yeah, there were so many things. Oh, and we're gonna wrap up here in a little bit, but let's not forget he said the thing. He said the thing. Yep. Yep. And I'm pretty sure everyone who has watched that final episode said the same thing when he says that. He said the thing.
Unless you're a shitlord like me and just kind of like back into a corner going, General Kenobi. It's like I love General Grievous, but like I can't not like poke just a little bit of fun.
God, I need to watch the Clone Wars because like the main reason I need to watch the Clone Wars is just to see more of Grievous because he was so severely underused in Revenge of the Sith. He was such a badass character.
Yeah, I feel like he could have been an antagonist through the majority, if not a whole trilogy on its own.
I mean, shit. They could have done with him what they did with Darth Maul. He could have stayed alive years after the fucking Clone Wars.
Yeah, he could have come back years later with robot legs too. It would have been rad.
Like, I'm gonna completely ignore
no
that.
acknowledgement, that's cool. I was waiting for it.
I mean, you just wanted, like, you were trying to bait me into an actually, you son of a bitch.
I will neither refute or
confirm nor deny.
Confirm nor deny. Oh god, I can't talk.
But yeah, like obviously they did kind of give him a definitive death in Revenge of the Sith, you know. It wasn't like Darth Maul where at least people who had, looked into the expanded universe, or Legends as it's known now, fucking, people who knew about the expanded universe knew that you could survive getting bisected by a fucking lightsaber. So having Darth Maul come back wasn't the most unlikely thing. But, with Grievous, it was a little bit more definitive. He was a cyborg, and his the organic part of him was what was keeping him alive. So if they had brought him back, he would have been completely, mechanical and a droid, and he really wouldn't have been Grievous anymore. You know what I mean?
I think they still could have put the brain into something and reconfigured it.
But I feel like even his brain was probably roasted with 11 herbs and spices by that blaster, though. God damn it. I want to just say these things and move on, but you keep fucking laughing at them. It's so hard for me to keep a straight face when I say shit like that when you fucking chuckle.
Well, isn't that the point of what you're going for when you say shit like that?
Kind of, but I also want you to just okay, I accept that, moving on.
You won't accept my robot legs?
My legs!
Fuck you.
Kenobi!
My dance moves.
Oh my god. But, yeah, fucking, if you haven't watched it by the time you're fucking listening to this, sorry that you got the whole fucking thing spoiled for you, but I would definitely say Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely worth fucking watching. Go fucking watch it. Fucking, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, fucking borrow your friend's Disney Plus. Shit, I don't fucking care. Fucking pirate it. I don't care. I'm really glad I censored myself on what I was about to say.
For legal reasons, we do not condone piracy.
Well, what I was about to say was it's always ethical to pirate from Disney.
Oof.
Oh, fucking. But
for legal reasons,
for legal reasons, that is a joke. Let me put that out there. Everything that I have said in the last minute, I'll just fucking round it out and fucking, for all intents and purposes, that was a joke. But yeah, it's a good fucking series. Has some flaws, but that does not make it any less enjoyable in the slightest. But yeah, so now's the time of the show where before I move on to that, do you have any final thoughts?
Actually, yes. Not necessarily about Kenobi, but my final thoughts on Kenobi. It has, like you said, it has its flaws. There's some stuff that I'm a little confused with, some stuff I don't necessarily agree with. But overall, I enjoyed the ride. I don't see how they're going to be able to make a sequel, but I do want to pose this question. Now that television series or streaming series for Star Wars have, Disney in general, have done so well, instead of getting a trilogy for a movie, put a budget towards a season of a television show. What would you want to see? Because I am still firmly in the camp of I would love to see a revised interpretation, or just someone's unique interpretation of the story of Darth Revan. Whether that be his whole life, a portion of it turning to the Sith,
or just adapting Knights of the Old Republic in general.
Essentially, looking at Darth Bane, there's so many Sith, or so many characters in general that could be adapted and do well, or just a completely different like original series new character, like how Cal was in Jedi Fallen Order. Like I would personally love to see the Revan.
So personally,
sword. Like
kind of piggybacking off of what you said, this isn't my full answer, but I definitely would like to see more from. I just would like to see more things that predate the Skywalker saga, period. You know, it's like, I get it, there's all of these, you know, they're trying, I don't know if they have made up their mind on, you know, staying away from the Skywalker story, because there's already so much there, but obviously, I'm still a fan of the content that we're getting, but I am tired of only seeing 2 time periods. The Clone Wars and the Galactic Civil War. You know, it's been done to death. I would like to see more, like, pre-Clone Wars stuff. You know, Old Republic, Sith Wars type stuff. But, from what I personally want to see from a streaming service, I would love to see Kyle Katarn get brought back into canon. He is hands down one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all fucking time. Like, fucking, you've got Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy, all of which are phenomenal appearances from the character, and it is a shame that he is no longer considered canon.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, anything involving Kyle Katarn, I would absolutely love to fucking see. Honestly, and if we do want to keep playing around with fucking Skywalker saga, fine. Let me see the Jedi Academy. Let me fucking see the Jedi Academy. Obviously, it's all gonna fucking end in ruin. Thanks, Disney. Like... Unfortunately, it all fucking ends in ruin, but still, I would still love to see more stuff from the Jedi Academy fleshed out. You know, then again, I could probably also look to comic books towards that. I know fucking Marvel is publishing Star Wars comics now. That's a weird fucking sentence to say. I mean, it's like Disney owns both of them, but it's like, I don't think that makes it okay.
Yeah, it feels a little odd, but I'm interested to see where it goes. Yeah, it feels
weird to say that Star Wars comics are made by Marvel Comics, which are both owned by Disney. You know, I really haven't looked into the comics too much. Star Wars really isn't something I've ever looked towards for reading material exactly. I might do that, though. I might actually fucking go read some of the old books from the Extended Universe, the Legends Universe, I literally cannot say that without making a dumb voice.
I remember when the acquisition was first done and like everything was pulled apart. It was I feel like
I know this is supposed to be our closing remarks, but I feel like the sequel trilogy would have benefited from them not doing that. Like,
well, I mean, when it comes especially now that it's like, you know, movies and TV shows being a big thing, there's so much to pull from that could have just been an adaptation instead of a reintroduction.
Exactly. Like the character of Ben Solo, that's not an original idea. That comes from the original expanded universe. And yes, there is a period of time where he fucking dabbles with the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
But there's none of this, there's none of this, like, rehashing of A New Hope. Full disclosure, I love The Force Awakens, but I am a big enough person to acknowledge the fact that it is essentially a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope.
It was very safe in that regard.
Yeah, it was very safe in that regard. My opinion on the sequel trilogy is the same as it's always been since Rise of Skywalker came out. Rise of Skywalker is probably the strongest movie out of the sequel trilogy. And I will die on that fucking hill. Like, Last Jedi, has its glaring issues, has some really fucking cool moments to it. We were just talking about it before the podcast. You know, I love that The Force Awakens reawakened my love for Star Wars. You know, because for a few years there after the Disney acquisition, there's fucking nothing going on. There was Battlefront, but that was a multiplayer-only fucking first-person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all we got. That's one of the things that... we'll get into this another time. Maybe we'll talk about this next week. The fucking... just the travesty about the fact that LucasArts isn't around anymore. Well, or they I remember hearing something that Disney revived LucasArts or something like that. I don't fucking know. We'll talk about it another time. But just all in all, I want to see stuff outside of the Skywalker universe. I like, granted, yes, all of these stories, they don't directly have the Skywalkers involved with them, but it still takes place during that same time period. The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, fucking Kenobi, the Bad Batch, like, all of these events take place within the same, within the confines of the time period that these 9 movies have given us. And, we need to move on. We need to go past the Skywalker saga, or we need to look at things before it. Is that going to stop me from watching new Star Wars content? Fucking no! You bet your sweet fucking bippy I'm going to binge the entirety of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett before the 3rd season of The Mandalorian comes out. And then I'm going to wait 2 more years to watch the 3rd season of The Mandalorian.
And in the meantime, there's also possibly in the meantime, there's also a...
Yeah. So it's obviously, I'm not going to stop watching Star Wars stuff if they keep doing things that take place during the Skywalker saga. I would eventually like to see a move away from that kind of stuff. But yeah, fucking, that's all I got. Fish, do you have any final remarks?
I would love to see a series personally on the rise of Darth Bane and the introduction of the Rule of Two, because that's a big thing. Sith stories don't really get told all that much, or if they do, it's in the context
History
of
is written by the winner.
Watching the hero. Yeah. So I would personally love to see a true Sith story that is the main focus. They are the main characters. They are the protagonists of their story. As well as seeing a huge moment in that history. Because the Rule of Two was huge.
Oh, well, it looks like we're kind of getting our wish in a way. Both of us. There is a TV series. There is a series that is in production. Not in production right now, but I believe it's in pre-production. Called The Acolyte. Which, that is a term I have almost always heard used in the context of the Sith. And it is being set in 132 BBY. So long before the Clone Wars. So
132 BBY, that's during the High Republic.
Yep. So what I've got, so all that there really is about it is Leslie Headland, Emmy-nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, is a boldly innovative filmmaker bringing her new Star Wars series to Disney+. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
Ooh.
So we're both kind of getting our wish here. You're getting, we're getting something that has to do with the Sith, and it's taking place long before the Skywalker saga. So, all right, we'll have to see where that goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
But other than that, I don't have anything else. Do you, Fish?
No, that's
Well,
pretty
all
much
right.
it.
If you want to see me and Fish outside of just this podcast here, you can find him on twitch.tv/fishkidmal. Mal? Fuck. Mal.
Mal, you had it right the first
Fishkid
time.
Mal. You can also
Shitbag.
find him weekly doing a D&D stream with a group of friends that is called Stream 4 Initiative. You can find them at twitch.tv/stream4initiative. You can also find them on Twitter at I believe the handle is at the 4 Initiative, also with the number 4.
Yes.
And me, I'm Comma. You can sometimes find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CommaCrazyGameTime, or right here on this YouTube channel that you are listening to this podcast on. Keep up to date with me on Twitter at CommaCrazyGT. And yeah, so this has been the Derailed Podcast. This concludes our discussion on Kenobi. It was a good series, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
You remembered your Twitter handle. I'm so proud.